Thank you, Deputy Speaker, and it is wonderful to be back because there is a lot of work to be done in Victoria, and I don't know that we'll even get anywhere near 51 bills, but let's, as the member for Laverton pointed out, 51 bills passed in the parliament last year, and have a look at the state of Victoria. We are in the worst state that we've been in for a long time. Crime and justice, honestly. The roads are crumbling. 91% are in a poor or very poor condition. Cost of living is out of control, and there are legislative levers that could be pulled to alleviate some of these issues. So when we talk to communities and say that all of these bills have been passed, what kind of a difference has that made to everyday Victorians, to the common man? It has made it worse. And as the Manager of Opposition Business pointed out earlier, we are opposed to the government business program because although some bills are introduced that could actually make a difference in everyday Victorians' lives, because they're all lumped into one bill and omnibus bills and not able to be considered in detail, although there are elements, quite large elements, that we may not be opposed to, because there's a couple of clauses that give us, that make us uncomfortable, we are opposed to, lumping them all into one bill. That is why we oppose not only the government business program, but that's why we oppose these bills. You can't lump. There are things that could be alleviated. For example, when we talk about the housing bill that's to be debated this week, and rental providers. You ask any rental provider in this state how easy it is now to be that rental provider for long-term rentals. It is so hard. Any wonder there is a housing crisis and there is an abundance of short stays and Airbnbs, and a 7.5% tax is not going to fix that in a hurry, and neither is this bill that's coming through the House this week. When we talk about the Retirement Villages Act, the amendment, I know that the Nationals elders, some who may or may not be qualified to go into those retirement villages, looking forward to speaking on this. Maybe there will be brochures circulated. They are. But the Nats, as per usual, point being, Deputy Speaker, point being that the Nationals, as per usual, are keen to debate these issues and these topics on behalf of their communities, because that's what the Nationals do best. We're out living within our communities. We have been there before, maybe not to retirement villages, maybe not so far away, and we are out in our communities each and every day. On the way here, in fact, on my very long drive down from Mildura, I managed to stop into the township of Witchyproof at the Terminus Hotel, and the issues on the cards there were renewable energy zones, were the right of appeal that's been taken away as part of those 51 bills that were introduced last year, making life much, much tougher for regional and rural Victorians, making life much, much tougher and doing business for our food producers that provide food for not only the cities but internationally as well. So this is not a numbers game, this has got to be an outcomes game, and just because the numbers are in the 50s, the outcomes are very, very poor, and life is getting tougher, particularly in regional and rural Victoria, where farmers in particular feel like they have been backed into a corner, and that was the message I received loud and clear over the weekend. Before I conclude, Deputy Speaker, I do need to acknowledge the CFA volunteers. We have also now got bushfires in the far northwest. 2 houses have been lost at Colignan. Fires that were started, I had a briefing earlier today and I did have a chat with the Minister for Emergency Services. Fires that were started with dry lightning, and there has been a huge amount of dry lightning. So it is very, very dry out there. There is a lack of moisture in the soil. Our CFA volunteers, there was a fire in Oyen over the weekend on Sunday as those storms started to roll through, and they had 30 appliances and 30 crews turn out. Meanwhile, we have the crews from Merbeen, Redcliffs, Mildura, all fighting fires in the Grampians over their Christmas, what should have been their Christmas break. Thank you, CFA volunteers. You are the very best of us.